Hello, class. This is Miss Mooney, and today we're going to talk about describing characters on how they respond to challenges. In our last lesson, we used context clues to better understand certain words in the story. This will help us as we reread today and study how Eleanor responds to the challenges she faces. Let's also create mental images as we read to see how characters react to challenges. In today's mini lesson, we're going to think about character traits based on how a character responds to challenges or problems she faces. Most stories have what we call conflicts. These are events in the plot of a story that cause problems or challenges for characters. Sometimes a whole story can just be about how a character solves a huge problem. By closely watching the way characters react to big events and obstacles in a story, readers get to really understand important things about that character. Thinking this way also applies to real life. Everyone faces some sort of conflict at some point. Understanding characters' conflicts can help us think about and understand people in our own lives. So now we're going to reread the story Angelfish by Julie Stenberg. I'm going to read the introduction here first. Oops. Eleanor hates everything about camp except her friend Joplin. She hates the food, the activities, the bugs, and mostly swimming. She wants to get out of the guppy group. I still had to go to swim lessons though, and after our 7th lesson, our teacher tested us to see who could move on beyond guppy. I worked so hard during that test to breathe just right and show my teacher a strong kick. I was determined to tread the longest, and I did. I pedaled a bike very slowly, just like Joplin had taught me, and outlasted all the other guppies, only by 6 seconds, but still, I did it. Congratulations, my teacher said to me after I'd swum back to the dock. You are officially an angelfish. My whole cabin was hovering when she said that because I told Joplin about the test, and she told everyone else. They all jumped up and down and cheered for me. The introduction tells me that Eleanor hates everything about camp, except her one friend Joplin. I also see that Eleanor is facing the challenge of a swim test. I think watching and understanding how Eleanor responds to the challenge will help me figure out her character, what she's really like. Eleanor worked hard before and after and during her test. That tells me something about her character. It tells me that she is persistent and she doesn't give up. It also tells me she is optimistic because she believed that if she worked hard, she might succeed. Understanding this about Eleanor helps me know her more deeply. I feel like I'm closer to her now and am able to understand who this character really is. So on the side, I'm going to write some character traits I noticed about Eleanor. She's tough. And she's optimistic. I also noticed that she is persistent. Now we are going to revisit our anchor chart from last week, and I'm going to add some more traits to our list because I think that we should add some traits about Eleanor. So I'm going to add persistent, which means she never gives up. And then I'm also going to add optimistic. which means she believes that if she works hard, then she will become successful. And remember that character traits, we can find what character traits a character has by their actions, what they do, and their dialogue, what they say. So in the story, we learned a little bit about Eleanor from the introduction that gave us some context. And then we also learned about Eleanor through her dialogue when she says that she had been outlasted the other guppies and that she was determined and that she believed that she could pass her test. So that is how we find character traits and learn more about our characters and how they overcome their conflicts. Now you're going to answer a question at the end of this video that says, what does Eleanor's reaction to her swim test challenge say about her character?